In the Zaporizhzhia direction, discipline within the 108th Airborne Assault Regiment of the Russian Army has reportedly collapsed, with widespread alcohol abuse becoming a serious and persistent problem. According to the Atesh partisan movement, soldiers in the regiment are increasingly dependent on alcohol, which has led to multiple cases of poisoning, failure to carry out assigned tasks, and the creation of dangerous situations directly on the front line. Atesh agents working inside the regiment describe a complete breakdown in order and growing internal tension among the personnel. With the onset of winter, the reliance on alcohol has intensified. What was once limited to small daily rations has escalated into excessive drinking, turning the unit into a force no longer capable of performing effective combat missions. New recruits are reportedly dying not from enemy action but from alcohol poisoning, further highlighting the severity of the situation. The regiment has become so heavily affected by alcohol use that sober and intoxicated soldiers are now clashing with increasing frequency. Drunk servicemen, according to the report, expose their comrades to danger by making unnecessary noise, shining flashlights at night, misfiring weapons, falling asleep on duty, and sometimes even opening fire on their own troops. The command structure is said to be deliberately concealing the issue, allegedly because intoxicated soldiers are easier to send into risky assaults without questioning orders. This concealment only deepens the conflict within the unit and worsens morale among sober fighters who feel endangered by their own comrades' behavior. Beyond this single regiment, there is growing evidence of a widespread psychological crisis affecting Russian servicemen. Independent media have been reporting on the rise of mental health problems, and now Russian researchers themselves are releasing studies that illustrate the scale of the issue. One study, conducted by 16 psychiatrists and medical specialists, examined 140 soldiers treated at Moscow Psychiatric Hospital No. 1 between 2023 and 2024. The average age of these servicemen was 34, and many had been involved in combat long before the 2022 full-scale invasion. Roughly half were diagnosed with PTSD upon arrival at the hospital, with over 70% reporting intrusive and disturbing memories of combat. Soldiers have also taken to social media to describe their mental state. One serviceman wrote on VKontakte asking how he could obtain a medical discharge, saying that years without rest or contact with family had pushed him to the breaking point. Another soldier, who succeeded in receiving a discharge, described recurring nightmares in which he was captured and killed alongside his comrades. A psychiatrist ultimately declared him unfit for further service. Families of soldiers have echoed these concerns, sharing stories of PTSD, violent behavior, and addiction in online support groups. Some are looking for genuine psychological help, while others seek specialists who can treat their relatives discreetly, fearing repercussions from military authorities. A Russian psychologist who works with veterans noted that excessive drinking often arises from deep emotional distress, anger, and a sense of isolation, all of which are becoming more common among those returning from the front.